Andrew, it's WrestleMania week. Here we go. Come on.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
That's definitely the song that I was hoping you would sing there. Andrew, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you, Adam. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Happy Monday. Let's take a look at the headlines. A planned WrestleMania 37 match was scrapped. A new inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame has been revealed. And we have the real reason the armbar was moved to SmackDown. We'll tell you more in a bit. We are kicking things off with some news regarding a planned match at WrestleMania 37 being scrapped. And this news comes straight from the horse's mouth. And it regards one Mustafa Ali and a planned match between him and Kofi Kingston, which you may remember they were building to something, it felt like, on TV. We never got a real proper payoff to all of this, unfortunately. And he has hinted that this was the original plans for this. It was going to be that it was going to be at the Showcase of the Immortals. He's been chatting to the Metro, Andrew. What's he said?
He says, things change and other things take priority sometimes. We almost got to it, so I will try to get to it again. There's so much real emotion that I can just bring up and bring out in promos leading to that match. When we do it, I hope we're allowed to do it right because I feel like it'd be one hell of a story.
It would, and it would be one hell of a match. I mean, the story is there to be told. This goes back several years, all the way back to Mustafa Ali not being able to compete in the Elimination Chamber, Kofi Kingston taking his spot, and then you get Kofi Mania, Kofi becomes WWE Champion, Mustafa Ali left there on the sidelines, just chatting, doing promos in the snow. But they were building something, I think, that felt quite special here. It was one of the things that I was really enjoying on Raw, and now obviously Kofi Kingston is involved in the Raw Tag Team title match against AJ and Omos. I can never say it right. Omos.
That's it. You got it.
Yeah, nailed it. Perfect. And Mustafa Ali, unfortunately, relegated to the armbar, which isn't even taking place at WrestleMania. It's going to be this week on SmackDown on the go home, of course. Speaking of which, we got the real reason that the armbar was actually moved to SmackDown. This comes from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, and it's down to timing. They don't want WrestleMania this year, even with it being 2 nights, they don't want it going too long. They're really trying to keep to 3.5 hours max a night. And he said, they don't want to go more than 3.5 hours on both shows, especially since they're starting an hour later than I expected. They're starting both shows at 8 p.m. EST instead of 7 p.m. EST. So that's the reason that it's been a WrestleMania staple, hasn't it? It's just been a part of WrestleMania now for many, many years. That's
the thing. But I guess really it is quite nice that these shows aren't going to go really, really long. I think that's the main thing to take away from this, is that it's probably a sensible idea, but at the same time, because they've been such a part of WrestleMania, it's going to feel weird it just being on a SmackDown. But maybe that gives it more time to shine a little bit more, because obviously on the pre-show and stuff, some people miss that. They don't really bother watching stuff like that. So maybe it'd be a nice little thing, make it a bit more of a spectacle on SmackDown.
Maybe. I think that perhaps this is all to do with, like, they might be valuing the first WrestleMania entrance in front of a crowd. They might be valuing that as like quite a big thing. And even though you could have Hogan and Titus come out and do something on the pre-show, they're probably going to save that for the main card, and they're going to have Hogan and Titus out first. It wouldn't surprise me, just like this news video, if they open with Real American. Maybe they don't want Humberto Carrillo's music to be the thing that kicks off Reign, for that to be the first entrance.
He's Ench, though. He
is now, isn't he? He is now. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a shame, but again, I don't want to. It would be hypocritical of me to sit here and be like, "Oh man, that should definitely be at WrestleMania." When for numerous years we've been complaining about the length of WrestleMania, and now it seems that we're getting something which is quite digestible. So I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, but it will be weird for the armbar not to be there. Just in case you missed it, we'll really quickly run through the participants in this year's armbar. We've got Akira Tozawa, we've got Angel Garza, we've got Cedric, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric Grand Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, Jey Uso, Kalisto King Corbin, Lindsay Dorado, Mace Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucker. Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucker. Tucker making his grand return to WWE. On to Hall of Fame news now, and we've got another inductee into this year's Hall of Fame. This just broke a few hours ago. And Dave Meltzer has reported that Ozzy Osbourne is going to be a part of this year's Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted. He appeared in a video package that aired on SmackDown, of course, leading to lots of people to speculate that this was going to be happening, and it appears that it's going to happen. He was there in person. Sorry, he was not there in person. He was there via video package when it was being recorded last week. So, I mean, Ozzy Osbourne didn't do a tremendous amount in WWE, if we're honest. Obviously, he was at WrestleMania 2, involved in the tag match with the Bulldogs. Apart from that, he's probably provided some music.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Pretty much about it. Having a look beforehand, and there wasn't much to do with Ozzy Osbourne and WWE. Tell you what, though, Adam.
I think he was a Raw guest host. Him and Sharon did Raw guest host, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because I think they did a bat skit backstage. Obviously, classic. But yeah, you know what? I don't have a problem with this. We all know that the celebrity inductions are just there to get a few more eyes on the product, get a bit of press. And that's exactly what they're doing. Does it devalue the Hall of Fame? I mean, the argument could certainly be made, especially when you've got someone like Ozzy going in there, who is obviously worthy of many Hall of Fames. I'm just not sure he's done enough in WWE to be inducted. But hey, it's a press grab. Whatever.
Yeah. That is literally it, isn't it? It's really just to get more eyes.
Whatever.
We're going off rails on Crazy Train, Adam. That's
What's he like? Next up, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship has changed hands. A big shocker at Sakura Genesis, with Will Ospreay becoming the new champion. Absolutely huge, defeating Kota Ibushi. And apparently an absolutely amazing match. All I've seen so far is GIFs. I'm going to be watching it this afternoon. But it looks absolutely nuts, as do all of Will Ospreay's matches, of course. He hit the Hidden Blade and the Stormbreaker to get the pinfall win. And he's your new champion. Goodness gracious me.
He's a good lad. You know,
well, he's very, very talented.
He's a talented boy, isn't he?
For sure.
Been working really hard. I saw like GIFs of... I think he like broke his nose or something during this whole ordeal, and just blood like pouring from his face, and it looks like it's been really, really cool, and I really want to watch it as well.
It's one of those things that I think a few years ago nobody would have expected Will to get out of the cruiserweight, the light heavyweight division, you know, and he transformed his body, he's changed up his in-ring style while still utilizing elements, the high-flying stuff that he used to do, and his matches are obviously just mesmerizing. So congratulations to Will, and I guess congratulations also to his partner, Bea Priestley, who appears to be moving on to pastures new. Very very sad news for fans of Stardom, as she has announced that she is leaving the company. So she had a match with Utami Hayashita, and Bea lost that match, and then after the match cut a promo, and she said that she loves Utami, she loves Momo, she loves Stardom, she thanks Stardom, and says it's her last match, and she just said thank you Japan. That comes directly from Stardom's Twitter account there. And we got an update from Big Dave from the Wrestling Observer, Andrew, also.
We do. Big Dave says, the biggest news from the show is that after losing, Priestley said that this was her last match in Stardom. When she didn't sign a new contract with New Japan, she also didn't sign a new deal here, and she made this decision some time back. She is leaving Japan. The only thing I can say is that she's not going to AEW, and the rest would be the same conclusion everyone else would come up with, which is the place she's not allowed to say if she's going there, and thus she said nothing. That just completely confused me. Whatever Big Dave is saying.
That's Dave. That's Dave for you. That's how he talks.
Let me continue. Big Dave also goes on to say, this was kept quiet because if it had been said ahead of time, it would have given away the result of the match. People are raving about this as the best women's match this year, and that the top 3 matches are all great. Sayuri challenged Shishita for the title. awful at pronouncing Japanese names there. But yeah.
You
But yeah, I
nailed it.
wonder where she's going to. I wonder if this is a whole WWE thing then.
Yeah,
Maybe an
that's,
Impact
I mean,
thing, or...
that's what's being insinuated there
Yeah.
for sure, isn't it? She would be a very, very valuable member of the NXT or WWE roster. She's somebody who has come on leaps and bounds, rather. She was in WCPW, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind us saying that at the beginning she was pretty rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But she grew and grew as a performer, not just in ring but also character work, and now she's just one of the best going. I think she's amazing at what she does. So whatever she ends up doing next, looking forward to seeing it. Congratulations. A big loss for Stardom, but a big gain for whoever does pick up Bea Priestley. That's your lot. Andrew, you got anything to plug?
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Biggest heel turn of the century. Thanks very much. See you in a bit.